Bank, U.S. Bank, and another bank is doing a business entrepreneur startup with tax ID numbers. The Department of General Services will also be there talking about certifications and how to get certified. So that's going to be a great event coming up in October on the 16th, 17th, and 18th. But before that, if you're going to be in Palm Springs on October the 11th, it is going to be our annual breast cancer awareness fashion show in the city of Palm Springs. So go to our website at blackchamberofcommerce.org and find out what we're doing from the desert to the sea. I'm sure there's going to be something in your area coming up. We've got our big Martin Luther King celebrations they're already working on across the state. Uh, we're doing a state function in Sacramento where we talk about meet the politicians, I guess is the state California councils, the senators of the state senators and the state Congress people. We go to Sacramento and we sit with them and tell them what our how how much we think their job is great and or how bad it is. So become a member of the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce. It's only $200 a year. And I pretty much see if you come out and participate from the desert to the sea, you'll get your money's worth. If you don't come out, you won't get your money's worth. You won't meet the people you need to meet. You won't get to know who you need to know. So you're only one person away from your next million. So come out, meet that person, and connect the dots from the sea. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, I'll be around after the meeting, and I'll be more than glad to answer any questions about the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Wallace.
That was
Oh,
fast, right?
huh?
That was pretty
That
fast, huh?
was pretty good. Yes, pretty fast for you. So what we'll do right now is a 30-second have everybody introduce themselves, just say your name and what business you have. And again, if you're just coming in, please put your information in the chat so others can get it. And 30 seconds or less, and we will start with Olivia. Unmute yourself.
Well, I think I am unmuted. Do you
Okay,
hear
go
me?
ahead. Mm-hmm.
Okay. My name is Olivia Payne Tenson. I am with my business that I am starting is in holistic nutrition for the knowledge that I have gained through the um, online Escoffier schooling and the LifeWave involvement, where you use the patches to generate, um, stimulate your stem cells.
Great. Sounds good. Thank you, Olivia. Terrence.
Yes, my name is Terrence Winslow. I apologize for not coming off camera. I'm on different browsers. So my information is there in the chat. I gave you my LinkedIn, phone numbers, email. Again, I want to edify Mr. Rich Wallace and of course yourself, Miss Linda Lewis. When I lived in the city of LA, which I still go to the VA, West LA. I got to go to the dentist, I think, yeah, next month. I go to the Long Beach, LA. So you can see I'm a retired veteran. I've been retired for more than 20 years. It's God's grace and mercy. I do a lot of things as a serial entrepreneur, but what I love the most is just being a part of the community, having the time freedom to give back. Yeah, I think so many people now are just distracted with politics, social media. They just need somebody to hear them, listen to them, who know the journey of entrepreneurship, how hard it is, how difficult it is. And I'm someone who can show them the way because I've been retired for more than 20 years.
Great. Thank you, Terrence. Shantae.
Hi, everyone. I'm Shantae Earl out of Moreno Valley, California. And my company is Smart AI Workshops, where we focus on AI education, access, and integration, helping businesses integrate and automate so they can work a little smarter and not harder. So
Wonderful. Are you with the chamber, Shantae?
I am. I'm out of the
What?
Moreno Valley chapter. So I
Okay,
got a
great.
link and I said, let me go ahead and support, my fellow chapter members.
Wonderful. Thank
I
you for
jumped in.
coming.
You're welcome.
And Shantae is the
Wonderful.
vice president of Moreno Valley.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw him on the board meeting the other day. Next we'll have Camilla, 30 seconds or less. You have to unmute yourself. Camilla, oh, there you
Sorry
are.
about that. I got it. In any case, this is Camelia Blair. I am a real estate broker, a CB LaSalle Group Realty. I just put that in the chat as well. And I've been in real estate since 1990, a broker since 1990, and I also do property management. I am also a insurance broker, Camelia Blair Insurance Agency, and I put that number in the chat as well. I'm a member of Black Women's Network, and so I am a friend of Linda, and I know also Miss Payne, Tenson. So I am happy to be here tonight to join you guys and share about the topic and learn about the topic.
Thank you for coming, Camilla. Yeah, we're sisters in Black Women's Network. Next, we'll have Dr. Rodriguez. Tell us your name and business. 30 seconds.
Good evening. My name is James Rodriguez. I run, very blessed to have an organization, Fathers and Families Coalition America. We do a lot of professional development training, leadership development training, wellness, and we have a pillar of our international conference as well. Right now, we're looking for call for workshop proposals. Anyone who is interested, I'll put a link. You can go look at it later on. So I'm excited about our 27th International Conference. And Mr. Wallace, I need to get to Ontario this year for your event. So follow up with you later on by text message.
Great. And I'll put the information for our website also in the chat, and you can go there and find out about the summit that's coming up. Next, we'll have Deborah Vines.
Hi, good evening. My name is Deborah Vines. I am a notary public, a signing agent, a professional tax preparer as well in the Riverside County, Los Angeles, Kern County, and Monterey. And I was invited to join by Miss Glennae Davis this evening.
Wonderful. Thank you, Glennae. Mr. Leonard Brooks. Can you hear me, Leonard? Okay. I don't know if you can hear me. Gwen Goodman. Gwen, can you hear? I think you're in a meet another. Okay, we'll move on to, I think that is, Shelley. Can you hear me, Shelley? Okay, next we'll have Terrell. I heard his mic was open. Terrell, tell us who you are. Everybody's shy. Okay.
But to seem like Terrell was just trying to say something.
I know. That's why I went to him. Okay, so once again, if you have not put your information in the chat, go ahead and do so. I will also put the chamber's information in the chat. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our speaker of the evening. Her name is Glennae Davis. She has BSN and an RN, and is the founder of RX for Life, a nurse-led consultancy and education agency helping professionals recover from workplace stress and career burnout. She leads community initiatives like the Brave Circle support groups and is the author of Well Done, Hood Girl to Head Nurse and Operation Mental Health. Also, not mental health, practical lessons on Career Burnout and Recovery. That's 2 books, I believe. With over 30 years of experience in healthcare and insurance, Glennae blends faith, strategy, and legal literacy to protect both careers and communities. I'd like to welcome Ms. Glennae Davis.
Thank you, Miss Linda Lewis. It is a pleasure to be here back at the Black Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for inviting me. Maurice is not here, but I definitely want to send him a shout out there in Moreno Valley, right? Is it Moreno Valley? I think so.
I think he was in Pomona.
Pomona? Okay.
Gabriel, I
Inland
think he
Empire.
was.
I just say Inland Empire out that way.
Yeah.
I thank him. And I did have a pleasure of meeting Mr. Wallace at that time when I did a workshop before. And he gave me grief about squinting at the screen. So I got my glasses on today.
Do understand. I have to wear mine for the screen too.
Oh my God. I don't know why it's getting so bad, but it is. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Slow down a little bit. I have about 45 minutes of content, but it may not take that long. So can everyone see my screen?
Yes, I see it.
Okay, so tonight's workshop is stress. What's good, what's dangerous, and what you can do about it. This is presented and written for the Culver City Black Chamber Virtual September's Mixer, and it's presented by me, Glennae Davis. Like she said, Bachelor's of Nursing. I'm the CEO and founder and a health advocacy, health equity advocate. So I am honored to be here with the Black Culver City and learning tonight. And particularly, let me just tell you why I'm excited to be with the Culver City. I am an LA girl, and I see that somebody else is from Los Angeles who's the retired veteran. And I actually grew up in the Baldwin Hills area and went to a medical assistant school and had my first job over on Rodeo Road with a Black doctor named Delaney and his wife. When I was 17 years old, they hired me fresh out of the medical assistant program. And then I went to Mount St. Mary's College later on in life, which is also in Los Angeles. So Los Angeles is just near and dear to me. And then I see how stress in our workplaces just ravages the Black community. And I just want to express some of the things that I've learned over the 30 years that I have been in medicine and 20 years as a practicing registered nurse. I was injured, get a little background. I was injured working as a bedside nurse in the ICU at a prominent hospital here in Los Angeles, entered into the workers' compensation system where I experienced the most horrific systemic racism and denial of workplace rights that is completely inhumane and just wrong. And I thought, here I am, I've made it to the American dream. I'm making all of this money, doing all of these good things, raising my family, got them out of the hood, moved into the suburban area, and everything was at risk. My entire life, my mental health and my physical health. And then when rubber hit the mat, what was also at risk was the destination of my soul. This is how serious workplace stress and stress period can happen to people when they don't use wisdom to meet that challenge head on. Okay. Huh. Okay. So meeting challenges head on, I want to do a little reframing with everyone. We all use the word stress, and I think stress is overused word, and we don't really value what stress is doing for our bodies. Stress is produced by a hormone called cortisol off of our adrenal glands and our kidneys. This is all part of our sympathetic system. And when a challenge is presented before us, even if it's at work, stress hormones rise for one or two reasons, to either for you to fight or take flight. But because we're in the workplace and because we're dealing with policy and because we're dealing with, if you are a business owner, you're dealing with, making sure that your insurance isn't going to be increased because of this person needing access to their rights, or if you are an employee and you have a workplace injury, you may not want to say anything about the issue because you don't want to experience retaliation in the workplace. So the reframing comes in at not that I'm just stressed and overwhelmed, but and that it's a fight and flight situation, but that you need to rise to the occasion or run from the situation. And wisdom is going to be required for you to know whether or not you should rise to the occasion or run from the situation. And here's a hint that I always give my students and my clients and my friends who ask me: you should always fight and rise if your workplace rights are at risk, okay? So if it's a right, then you want to rise to the occasion and you want to challenge the situation. If it's not, you probably want to run from it because, over the years, I'm 50 years old and I have seen more people fight to stay in bad situations, even relationships. But when it comes to their employability, their health, their legal rights, they cower. They don't want to push the envelope or do anything that is going to usher in the kingdom of God for them, okay? So what I want us to do right now is take 30 seconds and think about, what challenge are you facing right now that you need to either rise to or run from? 30 seconds. I'm going to set an alarm here. Okay. So think about any challenge that you are facing right now that you need to either rise to the occasion or run from. It can be work, it can be relationship, it can be a negative thought process that you have. It can be surrendering to something that you have been trying to control. Just think about what it is that has been weighing on you and burdening you. 10 seconds, 5 seconds. Okay, time is up. Drop one word in the chat. Be interactive with us tonight so that we can really have a great experience over the next few minutes together. How does stress make you feel in your body right now? Okay. Refuge, technology, exhausted. We're going to talk about exhaustion also. You guys, if you stay around, I want to hear more about the refuge and the technology. Too much information. It is overwhelming out here. I don't even watch the news anymore, and I have been very limited on what I am watching on social media. I don't want to be so in a vacuum that I don't know anything that's going on in the world. But at the same time, I had to tell my own brother, quit texting me everything the media is telling you, bro. Text me the word of God, because that's the only truth that I need to hear. So I feel that. So let's thank you for your participation there. So tonight's agenda, you'll learn the difference between good and chronic stress, how stress shows up in your body, the dangers of just being tired, and simple strategies to protect your health. So good stress versus chronic stress. Not all stress is bad. Good stress, let's talk about that. Nobody really talks about the good stress. So we'll just start here. Not all stress is bad. Good stress can motivate us, like me preparing for this event tonight, do I want to get a PowerPoint together? Am I going to share what I'm going to share? And are the right words going to come out? Am I going to fast before I come on here, pray? And am I going to actually deliver the words that I'm supposed to deliver? Am I going to plant seeds? Am I going to water seeds that have already been planted so that you can get the increase that you've been waiting for? And all of these things I hope to happen. So that's stressful for me. Like I rise to the occasion in that moment and then I show up. So this is motivation, deadlines, traffic. A lot of my patients come in, especially, it doesn't even matter if my Black patients or white patients, they come in and I'm sorry, somebody else is trying to get in and they're texting me about it. Yes. Okay. Just give me 1 second. So they people come in to the doctor's office, and I know you've heard of white coat hypertension. And what happens is that the blood pressure is extremely high when you come into the doctor's office. But what have you been doing before you came into the doctor's office? Fighting traffic, dealing with road rage. Then you have the medical assistant being all intrusive to your history. Of course, your blood pressure is going to be high. So what I tell people about that is, don't go around saying that you have high blood pressure. Have a blood pressure cuff at home. And if it's high at home, then you got a problem. But if it's high when you're doing things, your body is actually rising to the occasion, but you need to know when it's high and when it's not, because blood pressure is an indicator of stress. And stress for a lot of people, especially right now with this political climate going on, this healthcare changes that we're experiencing, and it's a lot happening. So stay away from the media, number one. And also, you can do more reading. Make sure that you have the right people in your environment and in your corner who are there to serve you and that you can serve, and just build on each other in that way instead of always being in strife and discord and arguing. And if you are arguing with people, go ahead and back up if it can't come to some ease and some agreement, because you want to seek peace with all people. And so if you are living in chronic stress, which is burnout, facing discrimination in the workplace, long exposure. This is things that happen to you longer than 6 weeks, okay? We define chronic stress that any stress that is lasting you longer than 6 weeks. Stress, you will figure out and you will find out that maybe you carrying your shoulders as earrings, right? Check your posture right now. How you breathing? Are you relaxed? Are you hearing everything that I'm saying? Or are you trying to focus on too many things at one time? So longer than 6 weeks. Have you started feeling like you're gaining weight or eating for comfort? Your skin, is it erupting with acne? Is your hair falling out dry and just not really being moisturized? Are you angry about something? These things are lasting you longer than 6 weeks. Are you avoiding a confrontation with someone? Are you holding back some things that maybe you need to say? We don't have to say everything. We can remain silent about some things, but if at the end of 6 weeks, the things you need to decide if you want to remain silent, have it taken rest in you already? Has it found a place to rest in you? If it found a place to rest in you and it's not still renting space in your head, then you don't have to say anything. But if it's still ruminating in your thoughts and you're not focused on the things you need to be focused on, then it's time to take a look at what's going on with the stress in your life. Identify it and name it, okay? Okay, she says she's in. Okay. Oh, well, before I go on, let me make sure I got everything I wanted to say there. Okay, I'm gonna go back because I got a little distracted there. So good stress, it gives you energy, it gives you focus, but chronic stress, that's a silent killer, just like blood pressure we just talked about. It's when the pressure never lifts. Workplace discrimination, burnout, constant caregiving. We have a lot of caregivers right now who are in caregiver burnout. We have a lot of people who are dealing with stress of aging parents, not just caregiving for people who are sick and dying, but people who are just elder, that sandwich generation and taking care of parents and children. These are all things that you need support groups for so that you can, speak out about what it is that you are experiencing and get recommendations from other people. Because what do people do whenever they feel a symptom? Because we're so brainwashed and we're so in tune with every symptom needs a pill, right? We need a pill. We can go to the doctor and we talk to the doctor about our symptoms, but we never talk to the doctor about what's causing the symptom. It's just not set up that way. So I don't want to tell you that that's what you're supposed to do because it's not. That's just not how the system is set up. And this is part of the reason why I've created the work in the healthcare system that I'm doing now, because I know what I needed and it just wasn't there. It wasn't there. It was either, Glennae, you're in pain, you're in chronic pain, you need to take these opioids, or you must not be in pain. Or Glennae, you're dealing with workplace issues and you shouldn't still be upset about your employer making business decision. Let me do ECT on you. Let me give you some antidepressants so that you can go back to work like everyone else. But those things are not without consequences, especially when I am disobeying the word of God, when God is telling me you need to push forward, when God is telling me you need to go over that giant, when God is telling you need to slay and off with their head, not literally, don't tell nobody Nurse Glennae told you chop off somebody's head. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying to get rid of your challenge so that you can walk into your promised land without that issue resurfacing in your life. Okay? If you agree with that, put I agree or let me know that you are picking up what I'm putting down, friends. So over time, your body does stop resetting, and that's when the health begins to break down. So you can ignore stress all you want to. You can. As a matter of fact, when the doctor wanted to put me on antidepressants because I was dealing with the workplace issue, and I did use the analogy of the giant with her, she's like, it's going to make your giant small. It's still going to come out and taunt me, like, make them small. Like, and then you wonder why you see people on the street just automatically just like start talking that giant small. They still scared to move past it. Don't be afraid to do what you have the power to do through the spirit that is within you, okay? Over time, your body starts to, break down, diseases come in. And so now you got another prescription, you got another issue going on. So I want to ask you if you could put a G in the chat if you are feeling that you're living mostly with good stress right now, or a C if you're living with mostly chronic stress right now. A G or a C? Okay. I love that. Terrell. Oh, I love it. I love it. And the reason I love it, and the reason why I say that is because if people live with chronic stress too long, then even good stress begins to feel like a chore. And you don't want your body working for you to feel like a chore. So that's great. I love it. Okay, so we have to talk about that, Jamie, because we want to make sure that our chronic stress gets rectified. We meet our challenges and then we move on to the next thing, okay? Thanks for being real. This awareness is the first step to understanding what's stress. So, sorry. So, how stress shows up in your body? Stress leaves clues like headaches, gut issues, fatigue, brain fog, sleep disruptions. Some of the most common ones are muscle tension. I just talked to you about like the shoulders, wearing shoulders as earrings. And another one is tight buttocks, because you holding all the BS in that you're dealing with. For some reason, you don't let it go. And which is very important because if you holding in a lot of things and your gut is feeling heavy and knotted, your immune system is in your gut. So if you are destroying your immune system just because you're holding in a lot of things that you should be letting out, hey, letting out, then you can make yourself sick that way. And also like high blood pressure, which we talked about, it also hides in places like brain fog, irritability, and sleep disruptions. Here's the part that we often ignore is stress is not just in your head, it's in your nervous system, your immune system, your heart. Anybody know somebody who is dealing with heart issues and just immune issues like fibromyalgia and systemic lupus? Those things come from chronic stress and not making the decisions and putting yourself and choosing yourself first. Those are what we call idiopathic diseases. The doctor says we don't know where they come from, but idiopathic also means personal. So we know where our diseases start from. We just may not have the words or the community to express them the way that we should so that we can find the answers that we need and be confident to walk in them, knowing that you will come out strong and healed on the other side. Okay, so I just want you to take a deep breath with me, just a nice deep breath in through your nose. Hold just for a few seconds and then blow out through your mouth. You feel that? I feel that small shift. And it shows that stress is always living in our body to help us do the things that we need to do. It is a God-given immune response so that you can meet challenges head on and so that you can also run when you need to run from them. So drop them shoulders, release the tension in your buttocks, and walk strong. Walk towards your destination. So the dangers of just being tired, exhaustion is a warning sign. So this young lady here was working as a transport coordinator. She had just spent almost 2 years fighting for her equal rights within the workplace after her workplace injury. And she was going to the eye doctor and she had these chronic red eyes. And her sister noticed all of these Visine drops in her purse and around her house. And she would ask her, why you got all these Visine drops? And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I don't even smoke weed, like both of my eyes, but it was just chronically dry, chronically red. This is stress and worry. I went to the doctor and my ophthalmologist asked me to come in twice a year instead of once a year because, did I say me? I meant her. Did I say me? Asked her to come in twice a year because her pressures were high. Glaucoma was setting in for her. And this is because in 2012, she was making $67 an hour plus a $25,000 stipend as a transplant coordinator. And she, like I told you, she grew up in Baldwin Hills. She had bought her a house and she had raised 2 kids. And there was no way God was asking her to risk all that she had worked hard for, because I wasn't about to let this go, but she was going to die if she didn't. And I just tell you about the hair fall, if you can see it here. It's a little dark, but yeah, no hair. She would pin her hair up, spike it in the middle, and Mac beat her face up because she was acne riddled because of the stress, tired and exhausted. Still working, still telling her patients that they can do this for themselves, that they can how to advocate for themselves. And I wasn't receiving the same advocacy for my rights. I meant her, not me. So fatigue is not laziness. Higher risk of mistakes you can make when you're exhausted and you keep trying to get up and you keep trying to go. And then you also have a higher risk of illnesses, not just physical illnesses like the glaucoma that I talked about, or the acne that's there, or even the hair fall that's there, but mental health issues as well. What I realized about my mental health brush with workplace discrimination is that I must have been crazy to go into the mental health industry to complain about what God was telling me to do. I must have been. And so they were going to treat me that way too. You have an awareness and an insight about what's going on in your life. And it's important that you make quick, swift decisions so that you are always blessed for hearing and doing the word of God. Um, just being tired, is your body's waving a red flag? Fatigue raises your risk of mistakes, weakens your immune system, and can push you toward depression or anxiety. I've shared my story about the former nurse who was working under chronic stress because of workplace discrimination and a workplace injury that took her away from her beloved bedside care, and her quest to find a gainful employment despite the institution telling me that I couldn't. My rights were that I could, and I was going to have them, or I was going to die trying, but not their way, but Yahweh's. That person thought that they were just tired, but it was actually prolonged stress turning into burnout. Burnout is the diagnosable diseases of stress, of mental health issues, being put on medication to do your job. That is burnout. And burnout also has spiritual implications. I just want you to be aware that so many of you are having good stress, which is amazing. I love to hear it. But if you have friends and family who are talking to you and they're telling you that they are burnt out, it's high risk for suicide. Okay. It's high risk for just being cynical, and they need help, but they also need direction. And they need spiritual guidance as well, because burnout, when people are saying it, it is your soul's call out for help. And so you want to be able to help them in a way that doesn't enable them or coming to agreement that they don't need to do anything. They have to take accountability and a responsibility to learn how to die to self and rise to the occasion. Okay. Because it's very dangerous in minimizing fatigue. I knew a woman a daughter who came to me and spoke to me that her mother died in the car after work. She woke up that morning and said how tired she was. She never missed a day of work. She had over 300 and something hours of PTO. And if you are a business owner and you have employees with that much health PTO, they need some time off. Tell them to take some time off. I know there's no reward in good employees like that. Like what are they doing? They're robotic. They're not fresh. Send them home. Send them home. Let them get some rest because it's important for them to reconnect with themselves and their families so that they can come back to work and focus on your mission and your goals for your company, okay? So we're at 7 strategies to help protect your health. Here are 3 practical strategies you can start right now to pause and reset. Take 5 minutes for deep breathing, for prayer, for journaling. That micro break resets your nervous system. I love to include essential oils. Ever since I had my brush of stress, I began using essential oils. So I have used essential oils in my daily routine for more than 10 years. My favorite is frankincense, but the one I started with was peppermint oil. Peppermint oil had given me an immediate response to when I was working in the intensive care unit to where my stress level didn't rise to the occasion. I wasn't flustered and moving all over the place, but I was very methodical in the things that I needed to handle. And then my charge nurse said to me one day, you don't look like you responding to anything. And I'm like, well, you won't talk about Superman with his when he wearing his cape. I'm doing my job. I was calm doing it. And that is one of the beauties of essential oils and using it when you are in moments of stress. When you read the Bible, all of God's servants, every last one of them, even Jesus up to his death, used an essential oil. So there is something important about it that helps you at a cellular level to manage stress, even when you don't know that you're being stressed out. I'll use it in my car, use it in my hair, use it on my bed, my bath, my body, everywhere. And number 2, protect and plan. Set boundaries with work and your time. Sometimes it's really hard for people to set boundaries, and I have just been learning myself to set boundaries because once my last boundary has been crossed, I'm like, okay, people cut off. You're done. You're out of here. But that's not fair. That's not fair to other people, right? So I just need to, learn how to set healthy boundaries before they get to the boundary where I'm like, you're done. So, I'm a work in progress, but I'm saying that to say that protecting your time and protecting your health, protecting your energy is important. People calling you at a certain time, turn off your phone. People who are in need, sometimes they, overstep and they overshare. And maybe that's not something that you're prepared to hear at that time because maybe you're experiencing something that you're dealing with and not quite at that moment is ready to put it down, and maybe I'll talk to them later. And that's what you should express, without feeling like you are being a bad friend. And then the third practical step you can start tonight is also partner in prayer. Lean on the word of Yahweh. You guys, if you are going to people with issues that seem to be taking a lot of your energy and time, and you're not sending them to the word of God, you're not really doing them a great service because none of us know anything, and people do not express everything that they need to be expressing. And the only one that knows the heart is God. So send people to the word, and you read your Bible, and you do also. I want you to comment in the chat one strategy that you plan on doing tonight, or if any of them. You could tell me none, girl. No, I'm not doing any of that. I'm not committing to any of that, but I like to hear your thoughts about learning how to set boundaries. Oh, goodness, I don't have my chat thing. Oh, there we go. Time blocking. I really love that, Terrence. Oh, thank you, Jamie. Planning boundaries with work time. I have to get better at being consistent with this. You're welcome. Your health is your wealth. That's true. You know, Terrence, since you say that, I know a lot of people online, they always are saying things like, there's no money in health. And I'm like, for who? For the corporations, maybe, but definitely there's money in health for the individual. I have just a few more slides, Terrence. Can you hold that just for a second, please? Thank you. Okay, let me go ahead and get to it. Where are we on time? Because I don't have, where am I?
You're good.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So we are almost done because here's what we covered. Okay, let me go back. Did I skip a slide? Oh no, the simple strategies to protect your health. And what we covered good stress versus chronic stress, how stress shows up in your body, why fatigue is dangerous, and strategies to protect your health. So there's a quote, I spend a lot of time going to conferences and going to business building things, even as an employee, because there's not really a lot of employee building conferences out there. You go to work and you just, like me, I mean, I could have stayed an ICU nurse for the rest of my life, but something came to pivot me, right? My injury happened. I had to rethink what work meant. And then when the discrimination happened and I met the bias in the healthcare, I had to rethink what health meant. I had to rethink how I was going to share my gifts and talents because obviously they no longer wanted me, but I still had so much to give. So this quote came across one of the conferences that I was in, and it wasn't even the whole quote. I had to go on quotes to get the whole quotes. So what I heard before is that what stands in the way becomes the way. But the entire quote from Marcus Aurelius is the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Meet your challenge head on, and your way is on the other side of that gatekeeper. It just is. Don't let them people talk you out of your promised land. So, what are our next steps? If you are experiencing stress lasting longer than 6 weeks, don't ignore it. My seats are limited. I do host the Brave Circle, as Miss Linda said earlier. It is a free weekly support group for nurses and Black career women, professionals who are experiencing stress in the workplace and are thinking about entering the mental health industry. Listen, leave the mental health industry for people not going through workplace stress. You got paranoid schizophrenics, you got bipolars, you got people with real mental health issues that should probably be in that seat. You're dealing with system challenges that will mess up your mental health if you do not face that challenge head on because you're afraid to lose your job, or you're afraid of retaliation, or you are afraid that there's just too much going on. I was a widowed mom of two, a homeowner making, child, people don't even make $67 an hour today, 10 years later. I don't even make that much, but I'm telling you, at the end of 2 years after I was fired, I never missed a mortgage payment. I was able to attend a conference on a Speak and Write to Make Millions conference when I wrote my first book. I was able to fly out there. At the end of 2 years, after not missing a mortgage and having zero income, zero, this company took my pension. I lived off me and my children, 6 months of unemployment. And at the end of 2 years, I was in escrow and not foreclosure, and I had been recruited for a job. I did not even go out looking for a job. I healed, and I've been building and serving ever since. So thus said the Lord, and this is a scripture that God had gave to me. And I've built my entire business off of it, knowing that so many people are not going to hear what I have to say. But thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way? And walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. And I said, well, God, if your people telling you no, why you got me just steadily doing this? He said, because you said yes. And you can share that and let them make the decision after that. So if you want to join my Brave Circle, please scan below here. I'll put the information in. Linda, I'm sorry I missed putting that in there. But I can put that information there. And oh, here's my contact. You can take a picture of it if you want. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Any questions, comments?
Terrence, did you have a question?
Well, it was more of a statement. Number one, I want to commend, I was going to say Dr. Davis, but I spent 20 years in the military. So what you're addressing right now is what we're all experiencing. So for the people who can stay focused, those are the people who are going to win. We
Right,
all have a certain level of stress.
right.
That's life. But, I was in the military. You have
What
first
branch?
Army. I was in the Army for 20
Okay.
years in 20 different countries.
Oh, thank you for your
And
service.
and I was in finance. I was a financial analyst. So I was a quota everywhere I went. I don't even tell that side of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But how do I handle that? Number one, I had to trust God.
Right,
God always told me everything is for your good.
everything.
Well, you're not going to grow if there's no, circumstance.
Right.
That's why I put it in there, the different quote. That's a quote from my second book, because my first book, it was really me. The enemy comes from within.
Mm-hmm.
It's not external, like you used the Marcus
Hallelujah.
Aurelius quote.
Mm-hmm.
Stoicism. So just think about the people who didn't have the phones, didn't have the technology. How
Right,
could they go through battle? Well, I'm a soldier. You
right.
depend on God. You got to keep your mind right, because
Mm-hmm.
that enemy is going to come from within, because your life is on the line. This ain't no job going to, worried about traffic. This is your life. And so
Right.
to experience it from that degree, I have had what you call chronic stress. That's why I put the three G's in there, because that's what I had to tell my friends and family is, okay, I won the battle of the military and the finance and being retired before I turned 40. I'm 57 years young. I've been retired for 20 years. I don't even tell people I live that well financially, because it
Right.
just makes them envious anyway.
Right. Right.
But I have to win the mental battle. That's harder.
That is hard.
And that's what I tell my colleagues. Okay, we done ran around Iraq, Kuwait, Africa, North Pole, places we don't never want to go back to.
Right.
And now we're dying in LA. We're
Right
dying
here.
in, come on, guys, we're dying over gang violence. We're dying over domestic violence.
Right.
Some of us 22 of us are killing ourselves every day.
Right.
So we have to look at not just work as stress. We have to look at faith and works. Sometimes, and I'll land my plane because I could go on and on and on.
I mean, I love it. Faith and Works is right up my alley, though.
Well, see, one is you got to have both. So if you got faith and no work, well, the Bible addresses that already.
Right. It's
It's
dead.
dead. But what if you got a lot of work and no faith?
Well, it
You
comes to
left God
nothing.
out of it, so you're gonna
Mhm.
get burnt out.
Right.
And that's what I see in California. People have everything but God in it. And
Right.
no one has told them it's an inside job.
Right.
I
And
land
that's
my
part of
plane.
the thing I want to say, Terrence, is that we go into the doctor's office about these complaints, but nobody ever points them to God. Like, I want people to say, I want healthcare professionals to say, well, what is your God asking you to do? You know, how Jonah went into the boat, into the ship, and it started all this ruckus happening. What is your God asking you to do? Because your life is real messed up right now. What are you running from? So I think that is a pivotal question that if we actually want health, repentance, and resurrection of the things that we need in our communities, then we have to ask, what is God asking you to do as an individual? And that's what needs to be done.
See, and you can see how that's working. This is the greatest wealth on planet right now. Why can't we make peace? Well, let's be honest. We're not looking for peace because war is very profitable.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
very profitable because stress makes you do things you don't want to do.
It
That
does.
means you go into jail, you need an attorney, you need medicine.
Yes.
System is flawed. Well, now it's like, and I'll give you the testimony of a veteran. If I go to the VA and the VA is, I had to address this at the VA. I'm not the veteran who you could give me pills to turn around and sell it in the streets to poison my people.
Right.
I don't want to, I could have done that in Mississippi before I joined the military. I didn't have to choose that route. But if you don't listen to me and say, I just want to talk to someone, a psychologist, I don't need a psychiatrist. I just want to talk about the things. But you can see Big Pharma, the money is to push pills. And
Right.
we have to look at it now and say, hey, for the entrepreneur, for the healthcare professional, for the clergy and the entrepreneur, this is why I love, the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce, because we get to evangelize the reality of success
Right.
in your face and poverty right in your face. Well, how can we toe the line and walk the middle? This is
Right.
an example of it. Richard
Right.
Wallace is an example of it for 20, 30 years. So if we don't continue to do this, have we really become successful? No, we haven't.
No. No, because somewhere we need to stop following the status quo and really teach our communities what it is that we see and have learned within these industries, so we can prevent like the mass casualties that are happening. Some of us are watchmen, and that's stressful too. Like, do I speak out? Do I blow the whistle? Do I, toot my horn? What do I do?
You do what you just did, Dr. Davis. You
Nurse
you
Davis.
you you get on the battlefield because it's a spiritual battlefield.
All right.
You're not going to be a spectator, and you're not preaching to us.
No, I
You're
don't
letting
want
the
to.
word of God speak to us
Right.
through you
I
based
appreciate that.
on your circumstance, and you came out on the other side. That's what I got tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Davis, Rodriguez has his hand up.
Hi,
He got me
Dr.
saying
Rodriguez.
Dr. Davis. Okay.
Well, I'll give you one of my doctorate degrees. How's that, Glenna?
Okay, give me an honorary one.
Yeah,
I got,
really.
I got, God has blessed me because, like Terrence, I went in the military at 17, poor Puerto Rican kid from the Bronx, and then we moved to East Long Beach.
Okay.
Then I got sentenced to live in Rialto, California. Nothing bad about the IE, but come on now. But I was so intelligent, and even though the life of friends being associated in certain networking coalitions that we don't need to talk about, but I'm grateful that I went in the military at 17 and retired at 37 and a half and went in with a high school education, left with a PhD.
Oh, nice.
Like what Terrence said is, yeah, I agree with him going to the VA. Unfortunately, sometimes we get stuck in the past. And I use a philosophy called Ishigo Ishie,
Oh,
which
I
is
saw that in the chart. Okay, what is that?
it talks about this one moment in time. Like I'm never going to get back this time with the Culver City Black Chamber Conference. I'm never going to get back your presentation. You could do it 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
It won't resonate the same. Or to remind me, hey, you don't got to work out till late in the hour. That's unhealthy. So in the past, when we reflect too much in the past, we got to tell ourselves, come back, wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Worry too much in the future, we have to tell ourselves, come back, because
Right.
it's about even more beautiful, even more resilient, even more precious, and even more present. Now, I wish my oldest daughter, she's got her LCSW like
Mm-hmm.
myself. She said, Daddy, I don't want to get no doctorate degree. That costs too much money. And I didn't have the military to pay for it. And I
Uh-huh.
said, you know, but my youngest daughter suffers, and there's a lot of youth. And I'm Puerto Rican, and her mom is Black. And I feel like there's a lot of young adults right now, a lot of young youth that are so stressed out.
Right.
And maybe we gave them the world so much. Um, but like after 7, I can't give you the stars, the moon, because I don't own it anyways.
Right.
And she struggles. And I have to tell her, I said, baby girl, there are 2 things that will always crush the soul of a woman or a man. And that's blame, self,
Mm-hmm.
blame others. And the other
Mm-hmm.
one is doubt
Mm-hmm.
self or doubt on others.
Right.
Because one is you don't trust, and the other one is you're looking at yourself as the scapegoat. But if you
Right.
focus on being blessed and grateful, like I'm blessed to hear this, but I'm also grateful for your presentation.
Right. Oh, thank you so
It
much.
it scrubs out the anxiety of me focusing too much for tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
for business, for an example.
Right.
Because some of us run businesses, so we got to worry about the next and payroll and hustle and get money and be about purpose, but we miss our one thing, that's what is our meaning in life and our purpose. And so I just want to say thank you. I did chat you. I said, man, this lady should join our conference and be one of our speakers. But
I would love to.
but I think that's the thing that we could talk, and even in general, like how do we navigate what you're sharing with youth and young adults? Because my daughter's 22.
Okay. My youngest is 30. My eldest just turned 34. And so I was hearing some of the things that you said, and I just kind of want to piggyback on it. I think some of us probably made it look really easy for them. Like they didn't have to experience everything that we did getting to where we are, and taking the same route. And so I think they just don't have that appreciation of that it takes a little bit of effort, a little sweat equity to do the things that you need, and being structured in what it is that you do. You touched on 2 points about, blame and accountability. Was it accountability? No, my father, he made me be accountable for everything that came out of my mouth. I remember trying to ask him about some things that was going on in the workplace. And every time I started out with, Dad, they, them, this is going, and he said, start with you. Because number one, you got to get the plank out of your own eye before you get the sawdust out of somebody else's. And every time you got one finger pointing at somebody else, you got 3 pointing at you. So being responsible and accountable for your own actions can help you, I guess, pretty much love and move past and get over things and continue on our own quest.
That's right.
Great. Does anyone else have any more questions? No more questions. There's
I
some
don't have a question, but I'd like to make a comment, just share something with you.
Hi, Shantae.
Hi, hi.
I'm gonna read it in
I
the chat.
I was trying to raise my hand there, but I read a book a while back called the 5 a.m. Club. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the 5 a.m. Club. It was a powerful read by Robin Sharma, and the book really resonated with me in a way because it said that the first hour of the day you owe it to yourself to really one keep promises that you made to yourself. And first hour, 20 minutes worship, 20 minutes getting your body moving, and then the last 20 minutes, some type of personal development or meditation.
Hmm.
I've been doing that for some time, and it has given me a level of peace knowing that God is one, He's already ordained our steps to get us when we start our day. And not only that, we start our day in victory before we begin the chaos of the day that tends to come. And I share that with my family as well. And, they don't, some of them may pick it up, but all we do is plant seeds. So I appreciate, your message tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys for coming and hearing my message. I
Great.
don't take it for granted, that's for sure. I highly
Any
value
other questions?
hearing you.
And Shante did put that information in the chat. 20 minutes spiritual development, 20
Mhm.
minute cardio, get your body moving. Sounds good. 20-minute meditation. That all sounds great. Okay,
It works.
wonderful.
How do I get a recording or a copy of the chat so that I can get the contact information and follow up with my
If you're
friend?
on a computer, you can hit the three buttons
At the
on it.
top. Save
Yeah,
chat? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Thank
If
you.
you're on a cell phone, you would have to actually do a screenshot of it. But it's being recorded. I think it's in the recording as well. If you
Okay.
want to save it right now, yeah, the three buttons.
I did because I definitely want to reach back out to
Mhm.
my new friends here.
Great, great. Wonderful. Well, great presentation. Good information, Glennae.
Thank you so much,
Really,
Miss
really.
Linda,
So happy
again
that
for
you were
having
able
me.
to do this. And thank everyone for coming too. I hope you really
Yes.
enjoyed it. Some really good information. Everybody needs this, little pointers. Uh, if we have any no more questions, does anybody have any announcements, anything going on that you want to share?
Yes, in the chat I put I could be. That's an I could be.org. It won't take away from your time. Some of you may be familiar with it. That is an e-learning platform. It's 25 years old. And, I was brought into it by the director of partnerships. So she's seeking people. And as you could go to the website, you're going to see the Black and brown young men and women. And some of these are challenged youth with no parents, but you're going to mentor them via almost like a social media site. But this is a very secured social media site, and you do have to take a background test to be a part of it. You make an avatar, you communicate with a kid. This kid could be somebody who could be abused or with a foster care. So the platform would alert the right agencies. But other than that, they don't really get to know who you are, but they get to leverage your experiences in life because a lot of us are culturally intelligent. And it's hard for a young person to navigate society now without not, knowing the urban society, corporate society, the spiritual realm. So God has called many of us, but there are some of us on this call that know we have been chosen.
Right.
Many have been called, but few have been chosen. So thank you for the latitude tonight.
Yeah,
Welcome.
great. Anyone has any other announcements?
Yes,
Nope.
I
Mhm.
actually am hosting a AI Made Simple webinar this Saturday at 10:30 a.m. It's a free webinar where uh, we're going to actually talk about know your why before you use AI. I've
Oh,
identified 3 AI archetype for entrepreneurs, and you guys are all welcome to come. So I put the link there inside the chat.
That's great because I'm loving me some AI.
Definitely.
Organization.
It
Yep.
helps.
Yeah. Saves a lot of time for sure. But you got to know what you put in it because it give you some crazy stuff back. It's like, what?
Yeah, that's what I understand. I haven't gotten up to pour on it yet.
Yeah.
Okay, does anyone
Okay.
else?
Did you leave your information,
Mhm.
Shantae, for the webinar?
I did. I just put it in the chat.
Okay, there it is.
Do
Yeah.
you guys see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. So I saved the chat. I don't know where it's saved to. Is it just, where is it? Where does it go?
Gonna save
It's
to
in a
your folder
folder.
on your PC or your laptop.
Yeah, it's in a folder, Glennae.
Okay. Okay, you guys. Thank you.
Just search Zoom. If you search Zoom, the folder should come up, I think.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, right.
Okay. And it's
And
this
if you want me to
Saturday,
email
Shantae,
it to
right?
you, because I saved it as well. Connect offline or email, and I'll email it to you. I'll have it.
Okay.
I see it in the
Yeah,
chat.
maybe Linda, can you? I'm on a phone, so I can't get a copy of it. Can you send it to Linda, and maybe she can send it to those that were participating as well, out on a group email?
Yeah, I
Okay.
appreciate that.
Send it to who?
The people who
I was saying, if
follow
you
the
saved
group.
the chat, or if you
Uh-huh.
saved it already, can you send it out to? I mean, I know I
Yes,
need to get them
ma'am.
on the
Yes,
phone,
ma'am.
and I
I'll
can't get
reply
it.
to the email that Richard and Miss Linda sent out. I'll send it right now.
Okay,
Okay.
great, thank you.
Anybody, you can contact me also if you need it. Um, Camilla, did you want to mention about the Black Women's Network event that's coming up? Do you know anything?
Absolutely. Let me see, where did I go here? There we go. Yes, I am, as she said, with Black Women's Network. We are with Black Women's Network. We have our annual breakfast conference coming up. I don't have the flyer in front of me, but it's October 25th, and it is going to be at the Proud Bird. You can reach out to myself or Linda for information more about that, or go to blackwomensnetwork.net, and it should be on the internet as well. It is from 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. And if you, as again, if you have my numbers in the chat as they were, you can text me and then I'll send you the link and more information on the event. But we are a group of women who have been around since 1979, and this is our annual event, which we often look forward to and have had many people go through our stages all these years. There are vendor opportunities. If you want that as well, you can also give me a call. And last but not least, I did put in there in reference to insurance challenges. I know a lot of people are experiencing insurance challenges in terms of policies being canceled, non-renewed. There are new companies, just FYI. I know that there is opportunity and there is availability, so don't feel distressed like you can't get anything. But if you reach out to me also, I can give you more information on that and let you know there's hope. So don't worry. Thank you.
And
Have a great evening.
don't forget about the Southern California Black Chamber Summit that's coming up October 16th through the 18th. You don't want to miss that. You can go to our website at blackchamberofcommerce.org. I did put that information in the chat. Hey, well, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. Make sure I have your emails. Again, we meet on the second Wednesday of every month and hope to see you again next month. And thank you, Glennae, again for a wonderful, wonderful presentation. Did you want to say something, Rich? I see your
That
mouth.
was a great presentation. And before we sign off, I just want to remind people to become a member of the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce. Join up. There's more information like this at our conference. There's more information coming up with our other chapters and other mixers. We have a lot of things, a lot of benefits for you as a member. So I want to remind you that membership has its privileges. Become a member of the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce, from the desert to the sea. It's $200 a year, $50 a month for however many months that comes up to. So we have it broken down so that if you just want to pay $50 a month, you don't have to pay the whole $200. We need you to be a part of, so that when we get with the Hispanic Chamber and the Asian Business Association and other groups and go to Sacramento and say, hey, these are some policy changes that we're looking to do. These are some things that are happening. And right now, this administration is saying, people, you better work together. because it ain't going to happen if you don't. So let's reach out and begin to work together and become a member of the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce. Do it before you go to bed tonight. Go to blackchamberofcommerce.org, sign up to be a member, and let's get started so we can start first thing in the morning. Thank you for your time and appreciate it. And I just wanted to let you know that before we signed out.
Thank you,
Thank
Rich.
you.
Okay. Well,
Thank
thank
you.
everyone again. Do you want to say
Everybody
something?
have a good night and good rest of the week.
Thank you. You
too.
too.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you. Thank
again.
you. Thank you.
Bye for now.